this is Hugh Beaumont here. We're doing interviews for the new movie, The Frater S H, The Motion Picture 2, The Final Freighter. We have already talked to Dark Milo and Sargent. We've talked to Billy and Glenn. Now we're going to talk to Frater S H, the mind behind all this. Well, Frater, how's it been? It's been many years. Yeah, hey, Hugh. Yeah, I've been very busy. Very busy. Tell us about everything. Okay. Um, Basically, I'm very much self-employed now, and I have a lot of time for a full YouTube. I just invest. I just put everything into my YouTube. It's just all my creative energies and all my ideas. But with this movie, what it is like, well, let's talk about it. I mean, like in the last movie, you the idea was is that, didn't you say it was like that it was this continuity that it was all in one movie that you wouldn't have to do other movies or yeah, I didn't really well what happened was is like you have to understand the new Freighter versus Retro was geared around a it's basically geared around a dead platform, which is VidMe. Yeah, in fact, that's a name you will never hear again. And I'm sure there's people, if they even stumble upon this interview, they're going to be, "What was that?" And you need to understand on the internet. The internet today. Now, understand, I've been on the internet since the '90s. The internet consists of Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, and Facebook. That's generally. And then, of course, then, you can go to eBay and Amazon, and then Amazon.com and stuff to buy things. But, so yeah. So, again, having a dead platform, so then all of a sudden you have all this content. I had a year's worth of content. I had a year's worth of content on my hands that I had nowhere to do with, and I had this whole new movie, the Frater S H motion, the motion picture. So, so really, I would say, I haven't made new episodes of the Frater S H Night Show. I was like kind of meddling around on library and a whole bunch of other things, but none of these platforms really know how to bring a real populace and real viewership and numbers and to your content, and I mean with VidMe I loved it because at least I had a couple people would see a show and but and again that's the past. We really can't dwell on anymore. We just got to kind of go forward. And so my idea is to kill off the new Freighter versus Retro and just go back to what it was on Blip TV. Oh my God, that's not where you really are dating yourself. Is when you basically are you've had projects on dead platforms, that go back like a decade. I mean, this stuff is getting old now. I mean, it's getting old. But nonetheless, the movie The Final Freighter is meant to kill off this very unfinished project that was on. And look, I'm going to tell you something. I've been rerunning the episodes, Hugh. Oh, yes, they're very funny. I know. I've been rerunning them on YouTube just to get the whole collection out, regardless if it's acceptable or not. It was a little worry of mine, even though I think at that time I was already starting to kind of cut back. I wasn't trying to make truly controversial content. But with that, with that content, but once you see the thing is sad is like I won't lie to you. I watch it today and it's freaking funny. It's funny stuff, I think my own stuff is funny. But again, it's like I told you, it was meant for a different time, a different, everything. So, so yeah, so really, That's the goal. The goal is to just get this over with. And then, well, let's talk about the original show. Like, what's that going to be like? Well, it's basically what the show should have been in 2011. The real reality is, the show ended up being a podcast back then because I didn't really have the the technology, the money, the internet, the proper internet to do anything. I didn't have a capture card. Most of these consoles today, Hugh, like the Xbox Series X or even an Xbox One, even a PlayStation 4. In fact, the PlayStation 4 was the reason why the new Frater versus Retro was even able to exist. It was it was absolutely because of because of technology changing and actually making things easier. Before, you had to do things yourself. You had to get a capture card. You had to make sure everything was configured correctly. I had no idea what I was doing with that, and if I had a capture card, I don't even know if it would have turned out right. I'm not sure. I had no idea how to put that stuff together. So like I said, so because of the PlayStation 4, I was able to do the new Frater versus Retro, and I would put stuff on a thumb drive, and then I would put the shows together. Now, what I do is what I do is I go on Twitch. I record some gameplay footage. I then go on Twitch, and oh, thank God, they allow you to download your own clips. They allow you to download all that. You don't need some kind of cap. You don't need some kind of screen capture like the old days. You can now just physically download it. You can't download someone else's content, obviously. They don't know if what you're gonna do with that. But your own stuff, yeah, you're free to download it. I have to thank Twitch, for their site and for really making it very easy. So, like I said, so what I would do is I would make the footage, and then now that it's downloaded to my computer, I can then go on Audacity and then put commentary over it, and uh, and that's the future. And so basically, what it is I want with the original Freighter, and I know we're supposed to talk about the new movie, and I'm not really I'm talking about the future that's created from that movie. And what it is with the original, it's going to be called the original Freighter versus Retro. With the original four, me, Pooh, Gregory Peck, Peter Graves. And what it is the first half of the show, I will use OBS and create, a video of some classic gameplay footage. Like first, the pilot episode has Kung Fu, and that was really the first game I ever reviewed. So in a way, it's actually I would actually say that it's cleaner. It's less swearing. There's really no swearing. I think maybe I let a few f bombs drop out by accident. Sometimes I do that by accident. But what it is then I actually thought that the new Kung Fu review is funnier, way funnier than the original. The original is because I was attempting to be so angry, because it was during the angry video game review days, so there's a lot of that. But I actually think it's funnier now, and so then every show would be sort of reliving, a certain game that I would have played back in the day. So the first episode after the pilot would, you know, it would be a standalone episode. The original pilot is actually part of the movie. I hate to kind of like spoil that, but basically you get to see what that movie is going to create. So, like I said, and then the second half of the show is when all four characters get to play an Xbox 360 game, and will you attempt to possibly get um a PlayStation 3 or something? I have an original PlayStation 3. Um, yeah, I actually have a PlayStation 3. It's an original 60 gigabyte one that can play like PS2 games, and so in a lot of ways, yeah, that would be pretty important if you pull that off, because if you put that in there, because now you got PlayStation 3 games, and I let's just say I know a place I go to for records and and CDs and stuff, and they have PS3 games there for like nothing, real cheap. So and so this is something that the original show, I'm telling you, the original show would have had this stuff. I know, so you can say, what's a retro show? Dude, there's nothing wrong with having the second half of your show be about new games or something like that. It's your show. My show would have the first half is an old game, and then there's new stuff. But unfortunately, I didn't have any means to capture that kind of footage back then. So it was very frustrating because there was games coming out. Like there's games that I can give you 5 games right off the top of my head. I like there's Oblivion, there's Skyrim, which is considered new. I don't know. It's a very old game, but it keeps getting re-released. I don't know. It's always being re-released. And I mean, it's a great game. I mean, you could play it forever. I always argued that if you bought a console, you just need Skyrim. Just have Skyrim for it, and you can just play that forever. Um, then you have let's see. Then you have Dragon Age Origins. Um, and you know what? Even though it wasn't on the 360, because of the Xbox Series X, I can play. I do have on disc. I have Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2 and Icewind Dale and Planescape Torment. I mean, we can get into some classic PC style games, and actually on the Xbox Series X they do have Myst, but that won't fit. Actually, that won't fit to that show because that game, it's a modern FPS version of Myst. It's not the classic. I wish it was, but it's a very beautiful game, very beautiful. But so it, it allows me to kind of go into these games I really do actually love and really spend some time with them. Because I feel from like 2005 to 2011, I really strongly feel that those were some good years for games. There's some good games that came out. You had Fallout 3, you had Fallout New Vegas, you know, you had even some of the Call of Duty games were pretty good too. I mean, it was really before, you know, they just started pumping everything to multiplayer. You still had some campaigns and Halo. The Halo games were still very good, and everything was still good. There was a lot of good, but you had some dark clouds that were starting to happen too in 2011. With the Kinect and all that. But now we could talk about the movie. Yes, now we talk about the movie. I got really ambitious there. Okay, so listen. The movie is basically, to really understand it, it is a parody of The Last Jedi. So you need to understand Last Jedi is an extremely dark movie of basically just about killing everybody off almost. Okay? I mean, and even the characters they don't kill off, they kind of leave them kind of left in a PTSD from everything that has just happened. So it's an absolute abysmal movie. But in a way, I almost, after I got done editing it, Hugh, I started to realize, I went, oh my god, this movie is actually, it outlasts Jedi's The Last Jedi, because it just absolutely decimates everything. And that's the point of it. It ends that whole space opera stuff I was doing. Wait, weren't you planning to do a show with Billy and Glendo? Yeah, because I need to have a show that's just for the new games. But you need to understand, I don't like it, really most of the new stuff coming out 'cause it's broke and bad servers, and you have to subscribe to different services. They're mostly online services. They're not even being called games anymore, Hugh. They're being called like just online services. Even the new Halo is an online service. And basically, I know you could say, well, for $15 a month, you get access to all these games like a Netflix service. But you need to understand, I've been playing on the Xbox for so many years. That library is pretty big. I got most of those games. I don't need to pay $15 a month. I have the games already. It's just, yeah, it's the newer stuff I don't got, but it's like a lot of the newer stuff. You saw how bad this year's Battlefield looks. It's considered the worst Battlefield ever made. Really? Like, so again, about the movie, like, yeah, and then I'm trying, I'm not very good at this whole non-spoiler thing, so I probably end up spoiling the whole movie if I talk about it. But just saying The Last Jedi, I think everyone watched that, so they get an idea what I'm about to do. It just basically just destroys the whole space opera, basically. And of course, would there be a sequel to that? Or I actually have thought about the sequel, and it sounds absolutely hilarious. The idea I have is like basically, that um, you know, seems to be the big problem with a lot of movies is like the director will film their movie and then the executive producer just literally says no, that's not what I want at all, and they bring in another director in and they refilm everything, and then that becomes the theatrical release. But then all of a sudden you got this full version that director had made before. And I feel like there's like a bit of a good parody it could be done of that. Like you could have like the first part of the movie is actually like the theatrical version, and then after that is like the director's cut, where it's like the actual movie, and it's like kind of a fake out or something. Well, Hugh, that's kind of all the time I have to talk to you. Thank you, and I know you didn't have any questions, but I kind of I just told you everything, everything is around. Oh, thank you for the interview, Frater. I don't know if I'm looking forward though to the talk to your cast members. Like, oh, you mean Pooh Guppy? Oh, Pooh Guppy's got plans. Oh yes, I yeah, I think yeah, I've gotten this offer from this company, and this company it's an alarm company or something, and uh Hugh, you're getting an alarm? Oh yeah, I mean I'm kind of in a sketchy part of town and all, and uh, okay, okay, we'll leave it there because that's gonna this is some comedy relief coming. What do you mean? No, don't worry about it. Don't worry. Okay, the technician's coming tomorrow, so he's gonna put the alarm in. And okay, okay. I think I know who the alarm company you took. Oh yeah, it's really cheap. It was like $8 a month for an alarm. I never heard of something like that. That's very cheap. Yeah, I know who the alarm company is, and yeah, we'll wait. We'll wait until you get to your interviews with the other guys. This is gonna be some comedy relief with this. Okay, so yeah, and I understand. Like I know you still got to interview also Gregory Peck, and I will let you know this is winter. Oh, it is winter. He was really rough with me last time. He's even rougher in winter. Oh no, no, please, please. Oh no, not again. Yeah, he's brutal in winter. Brutal man all the way around. And you know, I I've me and Peter Graves have gotten used to him, but he's he's absolutely brutal with new people because he just like finding what your vulnerabilities are and stuff. And oh yeah, whoa, and then I guess they'll do Peter Graves, and apparently you'll be on an episode of Biography. That was absolutely terrible. The things he said. Oh, you have no idea what he probably has in store next. Oh no. Oh yeah. I'll see you, Hugh.